This is the book of First John, chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi. Call Haloyim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Harech HaKwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. And in these last sections of time, all right, we must often ask ourselves, what will Yahawashi do? What will Yahawashi do? All right, so Lord willing, this must be edifying. We're going to get straight into it. So what will Yahawashi do? So we're just going to get into different precepts showing the mind of whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. So we got to ask ourselves this often because Yahawashi is the ultimate example that we pattern our lives after, all right, that we strive to be like, okay, and ultimately that was put here as a physical representation of how we should be walking in these last sections of time. This is 1 John 2 and 15. It says, love not the world. Right, it says, love not the world. And these Christians will come up and they'll quote John 3 and 16, and they'll say, well, you see, the Lord loves everybody. But that world is a world within the world, which is Israel. But here it says, love not the world. So the Lord says, love not the world, showing you that that's a different world that it's talking about. It says, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So we know, just going off the title of the lesson, what will Yahawashi do? We know that Yahawashi wouldn't love the world because it says, love not the world. That's an instruction. It says, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So if you love the world, then you're the exact opposite of Yahawashi, man. So we know, first and foremost, Yahawashi wouldn't love the world. So what would Yahawashi do? We know he wouldn't love the world. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. You see? So the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, Yahweh, man. So it's for certainly not of Yahawashi, man, because Yahawashi came in the name of the Father. So we know, first and foremost, that Yahawashi will not love the world, neither the things in it, man. Okay? And it just describes some of those. I'm going to just get that in the NLT real quick. It says, 1 John 2. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's a little further down. 1 John 2 and 15, it says, do not love this world nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. Because the love of the Father through Yahawashi is two exact opposites from this world. Okay? You see? So like it says the letter N, for when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. Because the love of the Father is not the love of the world. The love of the Father is the Spirit, man. All right? Allah Shawan Kodash, the Word. All right? Which is Yahawashi. So the Lord gave us Yahawashi so we can have an example of what love truly means, man. And it's not love according to the world. It says, verse 16, for the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure. And we see that, man, if that ain't the truth, we see that being pushed at an all-time high here in America, man. All right, a craving for physical pleasure, whether it be the consumption of foods, meats, or the other type of meats, man, philosophies, all right? We know that is upheld in this society, man. Physically please yourself. Alter your reality, man. That's what the society pushes, an alternate version of reality that's not of the Most High. That's why the society is going to push that Revelation 13 and 16, that charagma, man. And we know Yahawashi wouldn't take that charagma, all right? And Lord willing, we just established that after this lesson. And even Lord willing, down the line, I can get into more lessons just showing examples throughout the scriptures of how Yahawashi was, how he acted in certain situations just to show what he would do. All right, Lord willing. But it says, verse 16 in NLT again, for the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, everything we see. And the Lord tells us to judge righteous, not to judge by the appearance, all right, of how things seem to be. All right, judge through the Spirit, which is the word. Judge like Yahawashi would do, man. All right. It says, for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions, these are not from the Father, but are from the world. That's right. Ooh, and that's heavy, man. All right. Pride in our achievements and possessions, because the Lord says what? Our righteousness are filthy rags to the Lord, man. All right. The earth is the Lord's footstool, man. So the things that are on the earth right now is being pushed is all vanity, physical pleasures, all right? So the house that we have to build for the Lord can't be carnal, it has to be spiritual, all right? Now let's just go into some more examples of what Yahawashi would do, all right? We got to ask ourselves this often because, like we read in 1 John 2 and 15, we know Yahawashi wouldn't love the world. So let's see what else Yahawashi would be doing. This is 1 Peter 4, we'll start at 1. It says, for as much then as Yahawashi Mashiach had suffered for us in the flesh. So we know from that Yahawashi will be suffering in the flesh, man. All right? He suffered in the flesh. So what will Yahawashi do? All right? Yahawashi will suffer in the flesh. So that's ultimately what we have to do. That's an instruction. It says, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. That mind is the mind of the Father, man. Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, man. All right? And that mind comes from these scriptures. That's how we know the mind of the Lord. These prophecies, these dark parables, these wise sayings of old, man. They take us into the mind of the Lord and direct us to give us a guide of what Yahawashi would do. All right? It says, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind, for he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. Meaning what? You go through it in the flesh for Yahawashi's sake, for Yahweh Shem Yahawashi's sake, right? Walking in that way of Yahawashi, asking yourself often, what will Yahawashi do in different circumstances and situations? And then ultimately, you're going to cease from sin, meaning what? You're not going to transgress, all right? And ultimately, you're going to overcome that sin or that death, man, all right? With what? With life, like Yahawashi did, okay? But it says, verse 2, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men. Meaning what? You're not giving yourself over to those physical pleasures like we read, all right? You're suffering. So we would know Yahawashi will be suffering. What will Yahawashi do? He will suffer, all right? It says that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High. You see? The will of the Father, which is what? To destroy America, to raise up his elect, to deliver them, all right, and to be joint heirs with them, man, all right? So let's go into some more examples. So we got Yahawashi wouldn't love the world. What would Yahawashi do? He wouldn't love the world. He would suffer in the flesh. So let's see what else he would do, man, all right? Get it real quick. This is John chapter 14. I'm going to start at 12. And this is Yahawashi speaking. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that hath believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. So you ultimately have to believe on Yahawashi, all right? It says, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. You see? So by believing in this truth, all right, and that just shows you that what? Yahawashi would do the works, man. When he was on the planet Earth, he did the will of his Father, man. All right? It tells you that. The scriptures tell you he did the will of his Father, man. All right? It says, matter of fact, I'll jump up and I'll start at 10. It's Yahawashi speaking. Believest thou not that I am in the Father and the Father in me? All right? Because Yahawashi gets that preeminence, all right, of being the Son of the Most High, man. Now, we're all the elect, all right, the angels are sons of the Most High, but Yahawashi has that preeminence. He's that top, all right, that top angel, man, all right, because his blood, all right, And his body did he sacrifice for the nation of Israel, man. He did it first. And we, if we call ourselves sons of God, sons of Yahawashi, we got to take upon that same cross, so to speak. We got to take upon that same walk of faith to suffer. All right? But it says, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Or Salaki, it says, the words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself. And that shows you that Yahawashi and Yahweh, the Father and the Son, all right, are two different entities. All right? It says, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. So the Lord is working through Yahawashi, and the Lord is working through us. Just like we are not of our own. All right? We are of the Father. It says, believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. For the very work's sake, man. All right? So we know, all right, for the work's sake, all right, for this ministry, Yahawashi, all right, he was offered as that perfect sacrifice, man, for the nation of Israel, for the elect, man. Okay? So ultimately, Yahawashi did the work so that we could also do the works and overcome that. And we're going to get that. It says, the greater works, verse 12, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. That's right, a little while, all right, Yahawashi went unto the Father, but he's about to come back now, all right, the second coming of Yahawashi, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. But until then, we're walking and patterning ourselves with the mindset of, okay, what will Yahawashi do in this circumstance? What will Yahawashi do with this test in front of us? What will Yahawashi do when he's persecuted, and so on and so forth? So we got to ask these often, all right? So it says, verse 13, and whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. That's right, man, to show that what? Yahawashi is going to do these works to show what? That he's of the Father. So likewise, we have to do the same thing to show that we're of Yahawashi, man, because no man cometh through the Father except through the Son, man, which is this word is a ministry. So we got to do the work. That's why Yahawashi is still speaking. All right? This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 4. It says, nevertheless, Yahawashi speaking again, red letter. It says, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. And that's Yahawashi talking to the seven churches. And he was getting on them, rebuking them, all right, because of lack of faith, lack of effort, all right, lack of structure, all right, lack of brotherly love, and so on and so forth, man. Lack of works. It says, because thou hast left thy first love. Now we're gonna see what the first love is. All right, so it says, remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works. The first works. So that's a commandment from Yahawashi, man. Do the first works. All right. So it says, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and I will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. That's right, man. Repent and do the work. All right? Go after the ministry. Go after brotherly love. Go after charity. All right? Go after wisdom, prophecy. All right? All those things, man. They're components of this ministry. We got to have a balance, man. We got to go hard, do the work. We know this. The scriptures tell you be instant in season and out of season. So we know that under different conditions, we do this work, man. Okay? So far we got Yahawashi wouldn't love the world. He would suffer in the flesh. He would do the works. Now let's see what else, man. All right? This is Hebrews chapter 10, start at 35. It says, cast not away therefore your confidence, which has great recompense of reward. That's right, man. Stay in the spirit. All right? Like we just read in Revelation, the second chapter. All right? Return unto thy first love. Do the work, man. Have that confidence, that godly confidence, man, because we're going to be rewarded for it. All right? It says, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the Most High, you might receive the promise. That's right, man. So we're patient during this will, man, during this fiery trial. So ultimately, in the end, we can receive that promise. All right? And that's why the Lord requires us to have patience, man, because it's not going to come overnight. That's why we have to always stay in the mindset. What would Yahawashi do? Yahawashi was long suffering, merciful, all right, patient, all right, bearing afflictions, man. Ultimately, was that perfect sacrifice, man, and did not sin in the flesh, man. All right, overcame
Hebrews 10 and 37. For yet a little while, you see, a little while, like it said in I believe John and 14 chapter. All right. Because Yahawashi said, going to the Father, it said, for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. That's that great day, man. All right. And the headline of that great day, Jacob's trouble, is what? Yahawashi cracking those clouds and delivering the elect of Israel. It says, now the just shall live by faith, and the just are the elect. And who's the just? The top justice. All right. Yeah, how about Shimmy Shai? Not the justices of the Supreme Court of this society, man. That's a joke. All right. It says, now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. So you can't draw back, like we brought out. You got to do the works. You got to go forward. You got to put your foot to the plow. You got to run. All right. Because that's what Yahawashi would do. It says, now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition. And who's that man? Who's that son of perdition? Is Esau, Edom. We don't draw back and look back like Lot's wife into this world. We keep forward, all right, keep our eyes single to the coming of that great day of the Lord, man. All right? And by doing the works, all right, like we went down the line, by not loving the world, by suffering the flesh, by doing the works, all right, now, like we're going into Hebrews, by believing, man. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe unto the saving of the soul. Believe, man. So Yahushua will believe, all right? He had ultimate trust in the Father, man, all right? That's why he gave down his life for his friends to elect, man, because he knew the Father was going to raise him up, man, all right? He knew this, man. So he went through it for us, so we got to arm ourselves with that same mind, all right? I'm going to read down some more in Hebrews. This is Hebrews 10 and 35 in the NLT. It says, so do not throw away this confident trust in the Lord. Remember the great reward it brings you. Patient endurance is what you need now, so that you will continue to do the Most High's will. Then you will receive all that he has promised. For in just a little while, the coming one will come and not delay. Scriptures tell you, though it tarry, wait for it, because it surely will not tarry, man. And we're in those times.
All right, it's about to be a domino effect of events here in 2023, the hopeful year that all the prophecies come to pass. Verse 38, and my righteous ones will live by faith. The righteous ones, the elect, it says, but I will take no pleasure in anyone who turns away. But we are not like those who turn away from the Most High to their own destruction, right? To that perdition, man. To that destruction that's going to befall this place, America, all right, Babylon, and its rulers. It says, but we are not like those who turn away from the Most High to their own destruction. We are the faithful ones whose souls will be saved. That's right, man, the faithful ones, the elect. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints, man. Lord willing, that message was edifying. I'm going to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Harachak Wadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last seconds of time. Kwam Yasha Allah, Shalom.